Hey guys, this is Yonex Ezone 98 review, slightly customized, but you know me, I like to play with the best setups possible. With this one I have to say thank you to my friend who borrowed this racket, and yeah, he's a professional customizer, so if you want to customize your racket to the best specs possible, he's your guy in Europe and Poland. These are my first impressions. I hope I will get the green light from Yonex Poland to do some more testing, throw in the legendary Ezone DR and see which one is the best. So when it comes to some initial impressions, I would say the newest Ezone is quite similar to the previous version, Aqua Black. I know people say the new is a bit softer. In general, I see Ezone as a very similar racket to the Radical Pro and now T-Fight 305S. The rackets are very similar when it comes to the feedback of the ball touching the string bed, slightly more boardy, more raw in feel, and for some it will mean a bit less comfort. You get a bit less of this pocketing sensation, more initial response, and it's not for everybody. Me personally, I also tend to like a longer dwell time, this pocketing sensation associated with the legendary Prestige line. But you know, when it comes to competing, sometimes you need a bit of this kick from the string bed, especially on defense, and I think frames like Ezone, now T-Fight 305S, Radical are great all-around rackets, and it's now a matter of adjusting to your taste, finding this middle spot between comfort and performance and feel, all things like that, launch angle also, right? So Ezone 98, is it an upgrade or you better buy the previous version? For some reason I want to say that the newest Ezone is better, but when it comes to the response, the play style, the feel, uh, me and my friend, we didn't notice much difference, especially if you customize the frames to your preference, and you can adjust with strings and tension. I think overall the difference is very small here. In the past, Yonex DR, I think this was more traditional in feel. Now the recent E-zones, I think, are more bulky in feel, more responsive, but also more stable. So you get a bit more for free. In general, easy to use, easy to move around racket while getting all the benefits of a heavier frame. So yeah, a lot of stability, and the DR wasn't as stable. Many users were customizing it to make it more stable. This one is a rock solid in stock form, so it is only matter of finding this fluid motion. What I like about the Ezone is that the neck is quite thin, so it reminds me of the Prestige line when I hold the racket, and then of course it thickens up in the head, giving you the stability and power. So it is kind of a hybrid idea of traditional with modern, which is also nice. If I had to mention some negative things, for me Ezone is a kind of one-trick pony where you want to play flat, you want to catch the ball on the rise. So for me, this racket sometimes is a bit too tricky to use. I sometimes like to play a bit higher above the net, let's call it dirty tennis, and whenever I try to play with spins and height above the net, Ezone is a racket that can launch the ball a bit too far because yeah, the response is very immediate. So if you don't close the racket fast enough, yeah, the ball can sail on you very far. If you play flat, you extend through the contact point, then it really shines. That's why I also mention Radical Pro as a similar racket, because they kinda have similar play style and tennis identity. Maybe Speed Pro also belongs to this play style, but Speed Pro is more forgiving, and Ezone and Radical Pro are a bit more focused on the string bed, so they give you a bit more feedback. The sensation of hitting the sweet zone is a bit more crispy, I would say. This crispy feeling is quite addictive, to be honest. It's not a negative thing. I think in general it is a positive thing because it gives you confidence to hit out, but hit out in a very specific way. And in some hands, Ezone will be the best racket right now because it gives you a lot of response, a lot of penetration, and it is still quite easy to use. So if I had to put Ezone on my top 10 list, it is definitely joining my gatekeepers lineup, potentially taking the spot from top 5 from the Head Prestige MP, or maybe Diadem Elevate Tour, or maybe Head Gravity Tour. So potentially top 5, maybe even top 3 rackets. So yeah, the negative thing is you can't really play a dirty tennis with it. It takes a dedicated player, dedicated in play style. You want to play flat, you want to play aggressive. If you mistime the closing of your racket head, yeah, you can miss it and hit a bit long. I tend to play more fluid through the ball, and yeah, sometimes if I want to play a bit higher, I just kind of guide the ball higher, and with the Ezone it kind of launches on me. What helped me kind of tune in to my playstyle was putting 130 gauge of strings that I would recommend would be Solinco Turbite Soft 130, Solinco Confidential 130. I know some players are using Laxilon Original 130, maybe Alu Power 130 if you still want to get a lot of response from the string bed. The previous strings I recommended are more to tame this responsiveness, this launchiness of the Ezone. It is making the dwell time kinda longer without messing too much with the response or the feel of the Ezone. If I had to compare the Ezone to the Radical Pro, for me Ezone is a much better racket, much more complete in its play style, because both rackets land in very similar basket, and in this basket Ezone would be my pick. For example, Gravity Tour also has this kind of identity of let's give a lot of response in a lighter package, but Gravity Tour also is giving me more spin potential, but also the launch angle is higher. So yeah, Gravity Tour is an interesting racket for sure. It's like a mix of the Ezone family and Vicor family. I like Vicor a lot, but compared to the Gravity Tour, I am getting more cleaner feedback, a bit more traditional sensation. Another, let's say, modern racket is of course Babolat Pure Aero 98, but this one is kind of more spinny, more towards the Vicor line, but is similarly stable, similarly responsive, but with a bit different play style in mind, more spinny. And Ezone is, despite 1619 compared to 1620, is still shooting a bit lower. So yeah, a lot of juice, but this juice is about penetrating the court and pushing your opponent back, not so much about height above the net or spin potential. That's it for this review. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and see you soon.